Imagine a time when the powerful Oyo Empire held an entire people in chains. But from the humble village of Igbane, one man would rise, defying all odds, and lead his people to freedom. This is the epic story of Lisabi, the legendary defender of the Egba people. Join us as we journey back in time, where courage, unity, and resistance gave birth to an unforgettable hero. In the heart of Yorubaland, many years ago, the Egba people lived under the oppressive rule of the Oyo Empire. The mighty Oyo warriors, who once protected them, had turned into ruthless overlords, demanding more taxes and treating the Egba as subjects. Fear ruled the land, and the people, though dreaming of freedom, could not find the courage to rise. In the quiet town of Igbane, a young man named Lisabi Agbonbo Akala watched in silence as his people suffered. Unlike the feared Oyo warriors, Lisabi was no mighty soldier. He was a simple farmer, humble yet sharp, and deeply loved his people. But what Lisabi lacked in size and power, he made up for in a fiery heart and a mind that could outthink the strongest armies. Lisabi knew something had to change. As the Oyo Empire continued to bleed the Egba dry, Lisabi secretly gathered his people. Meeting in the shadows, he spoke with a fierce passion that touched their souls. "We are not slaves," he declared. "The Oyo rely on fear to divide us. But if we come together, if we unite, we can defeat them." His words echoed in the hearts of the Egba people. Village by village, Lisabi built a resistance, a quiet rebellion. He formed the Egbe Aro, a secret group of farmers, traders, and hunters who shared one mission: freedom from the Oyo yoke. Lisabi was clever. He knew they couldn't face the Oyo army in a direct fight. The Oyo soldiers were well-armed, fierce, and rode on horseback. But Lisabi had the land on his side. The forests, hills, and rivers of Egba were his allies. He trained his men in stealth attacks, using the environment to strike the Oyo soldiers where they least expected it. The Oyo Empire, however, grew frustrated. They sent their most feared general, the Are Onakakanfo, to crush the Egba rebellion once and for all. His army, draped in the bright colors of war, stormed into Egba land, confident they would end the uprising in one swift blow. Their horses thundered, and their spears gleamed in the sun. But Lisabi was ready. When the Oyo army arrived, they found the villages empty. Not a soul moved. It was as if the people had vanished into thin air. They marched on, unaware they were walking into a trap. The narrow valley they traveled through was silent, too silent. And that's when Lisabi struck. From the dense forest, the Egba warriors, hidden and ready, attacked with speed and precision. Arrows flew from all directions, cutting down the Oyo soldiers before they even knew what hit them. The sound of battle filled the valley as Lisabi's men, using the terrain to their advantage, outmaneuvered the Oyo army at every turn. The mighty Oyo soldiers, used to open battlefields, were thrown into chaos. The Egba warriors were fewer in number, but they fought like lions. Their machetes, spears, and bows were enough to overpower even the most fearsome of the Oyo soldiers. By morning, the once invincible Oyo army was in ruins. The Are Onakakanfo, the dreaded commander, was defeated. The Egba had achieved the impossible. They had broken free from the clutches of the Oyo Empire. News of Lisabi's victory spread like wildfire across Yorubaland. The Egba people were no longer seen as weak. Their victory inspired others under Oyo's oppression to rise up, sparking a wave of resistance that shook the empire. But Lisabi, despite his newfound fame, returned to his quiet life. He went back to his farm, content to live in peace. Yet, his name lived on. The Egba people never forgot the man who freed them, the humble farmer who stood up to an empire. To this day, the Egba celebrate Lisabi as their greatest hero. His story is passed down from generation to generation, reminding them that no matter how great the oppressor, a united people cannot be defeated. Every year, during the Lisabi Day festival, his legend is remembered with songs, dances, and tales of his bravery. And in the hearts of the Egba, Lisabi remains the symbol of freedom, courage, and the unbreakable spirit of a people who refused to bow,